Okay, so to get started with your reusable water balloon, you're going to need Bernat blanket yarn. You also will need some scissors, and this is a size N crochet hook, but you can use an M as well. It's not too big of a deal, just something nice and big that you can work with this yarn. So once you have these gathered, let's get started. So once you get started, the first thing you want to do is make a magic circle, and you are going to crochet 6 half double crochets around the magic circle. If you don't know how to make that, I do have another video, a tutorial on how to do that from a couple weeks ago. So 6 half double crochets. Be careful when you're working with the blanket yarn. If you pull too hard on the ends, it will break. So once you get your 6, you are going to join into your first half double crochet, join with a slip stitch. You're going to chain 1. Feel free to chain 2 if that makes you more comfortable. I usually just chain 1 for a half double. So now into each half double crochet, I am going to work an increase. So 2 half double crochets into each stitch. Do that all the way around until you have 12 half double crochets. Blanket yarn, if you're not used to working with it, it can kind of be difficult to see where the stitches are. So just make sure at the end that you have 12 and you'll be fine. A lot of times when you're working with thicker yarn that's hard to see the stitches, you go more by feel. So I might not be able to see that that's a stitch, but if I can stick my finger through there pretty easily, or the hook pretty easily. So these are my last 2. And I'm going to, remember this is actually my joining stitch. I am going to join with a slip stitch, chain 1, and then I'm going to work 2 rounds of 1 half double crochet into each stitch around. So 2 rounds of 12 half double crochets. Okay, so now I'm gonna do a half double crochet reduced stitch over every 2 half double crochets. So now I'm going back down from 12 to 6. So there's 1 over the next 2. There we go. So if I count my stitches, I have 6. And then I'm going to join into the first one and chain 1 again. And this time I am going to work 6 single crochets around. So 1 into each of those half double reduced stitches. So 6 single crochets. And this makes kind of the mouth of the water balloon. If you want to make this just a ball and not look like a balloon, feel free to skip this part and just weave around the half doubles, but I really like to give it the appearance of a balloon. Okay, so I'm going to join into my first one. Gonna fasten off now, and when you fasten off, leave yourself a good amount of tail because you're actually gonna wrap this around the balloon. So I fastened off, I've pulled it tight. Now I am going to wrap this around those 6 single crochets around that row. And there we go. And I just do it a couple times just to make it look like you have that water balloon knot. And after I do it, make sure you leave enough so you can make a little knot. And it does not really matter how fancy this looks because this blanket yarn is very forgiving. So I just want to kind of tie it off without messing with the look of it too much. And then I take it and I pull it into the middle and it's hidden. And now I have a reusable water balloon that you can dunk, toss, and repeat. This is such a great pattern for beginners, and feel free to watch it as many times as you want if you forget. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I would love if you followed me on Instagram, that Cozy Fox, so I can see how many water balloons you can make this summer. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you again soon.